production. It's not transmission. So the laws and regs are in place to deal with the danger levels of 16 and 24-inch pipelines that are, you know, cut in. It's a lot different from a 2, 4, or 6-inch line that those were put in for the vertical wells. And the one thing I've been trying to find out, and I haven't been able to get an answer, is what pressures are these pipelines operating under, and what MAOPs, and what other testing, because the other thing, and I am a little familiar with the industry, the other thing that I have found out is because of this burst of activity, the quality of pipe is not what it used to be. It is very difficult for companies to get the amount of pipe in the size and the grade that they need to complete.
I have a quote on my, I save a lot of research to my hard drive, but I have a quote from an engineer at Mark West Pipeline. It was an internal memo that somebody published on the internet, and his response was, we want to get this, we want to be the company to get this pipeline out as fastest and the cheapest way we can. What does that tell you, folks?
I have a question for the commission. I'm a landowner, and currently within a 5-mile radius of my farm, there are 10 Marcellus wells permitted already, with additional coming. My concern is Doddridge County does not have the infrastructure to support the residents when we have something catastrophic occur because of this exploration. It's not like my well can be ruined and I can come to the county commission and say, gee, can you extend that city water line out to my farm so I have potable water? That can't happen here. This county has no infrastructure. What's the industry going to do to help this county commission and future county commissions help the residents of the county when their roads are destroyed, their water sources are destroyed, their air quality is destroyed?
They're not helping the people out on Sherry Camp. There are 2 cases there. A lovely older couple whose water, the pad was put down like maybe 20 feet away from where their well water was. Their well water has increased levels of arsenic, lead, and I forget what the other stuff was. They had to hire a private attorney to fight their battle. Other people down next door to them, company, and I think it's Intero at this point in time, just because they also have polluted water, pulls in, gives them a water buffalo, disconnects their well, does not talk to the residents at all. You know, and
return calls.
what?
They do not. I sent
They
a
won't
certified
talk
letter
to
to Intero 3 weeks ago to their corporate office and to their Clarksburg office trying to get a hold of Joe Rice and Brian Kuhn. And I got my little postcard back that said someone at Intero corporate office and the branch office both signed for that, and it's been 3 weeks and they have not called back. And my letter was to request that they meet with a group of these concerned landowners, and that we also, I recommended in my letter that maybe they'd like to work through Ann Green Communications, which is a consulting firm that deals with stakeholders, brings them together at the table. I don't want to use the term mediator, but it is of that light. Chesapeake Energy did that out in Wetzel County, which is a couple years ahead of us. So if you guys want to see what this is going to happen in Doddridge, take a drive up to Wetzel County. Ed Wade is working with me on my host farm project. He's got a Wetzel Action group up there. We'll be happy to give you tours of things. He was responsible for Chesapeake Energy being brought under the investigation of the Department of Justice because they moved Blake Run Waterfall. They took out the waterfall and they put a road over it instead to get to the wells. 4 streams and 4 violations of the Federal Clean Water Act. Three well pads slipped off the mountain. And the company you speak of, Antero on Indian Camp and Cherry Camp Road, I've been following that because that's who's drilling all around of us. And they have 7 EPA violations for 7 well sites. 4 of them around that general area where that woman, Leanne, is getting a water buffalo now, or was delivered to her house without any notification from the company after her water testing was arsenic and lead levels 7 times the safe zone. And they never called her, they just had somebody show up that they contracted to give her a water buffalo.
I think we're
Yeah.
not seeing any
Yeah, we're not
oversight
seeing
for
any,
the
we're not seeing any
industry.
communication.
That's
The
frustrating.
other thing you
They
might want to
put
bring
both
back
sides
to
of
your
weapons.
group is, why, okay, we are basically a very, very poor county. People in the know enough to get their water wells tested to establish a baseline. The cost of a baseline test is anywhere from $300 to $900. Okay, I do not understand that these billions are being spent. If these companies in the, to protect themselves, they should be testing the water for the areas that are impacted. And if they're going down here and ending up here, they should be doing a radius, not just 6 miles away from the wellhead, because that type of drilling, that 600 feet away from a wellhead is fine for a vertical well, but not for the horizontal. It is not for the horizontal. Because, and it's, a lot of people in this county cannot afford to spend $300 to $900.
So what you're doing with all these billions, you're buying the trucks from Lord knows where. You're buying all the well equipment from Lord knows where. It certainly doesn't help anybody in our county or any in our state. You're paying out-of-state employees. But where is any of that going to help our health, our environment, our water, any of this stuff? I mean, you're just tearing up everything, destroying everything that people have, leaving them with no land value, contaminated water, a horrible place to live that used to be their dream out in the country with the beautiful skies and the trees, and now they've got the noise and the trucks and the mess.
They still get to pay taxes on it.
Yeah,
Right.
Same taxes.
Same tax.
Same
Oh no, the
tax.
taxes might increase.
Oh, they might increase.
They
but
might increase.
They need to be wiped out to nothing. Because you don't have anything of any value.
We realize you're just a messenger and you're just doing your job. But I think that overall, we want this message to get back to the organizations that you represent. And we want, the other message we want to go back to them is they need to have some respect for the residents, the people that live here on a day-to-day basis. There needs to be some respect. Some of these companies blatantly lie, blatantly trespass on our property without asking for permission, and totally, like, to be lied to your face. I mean, come on. I mean,
But they cut checks to get to little nonprofits here and there to foster goodwill in the community. It's not fostering
and
goodwill.
then they come over here, like Chesapeake did in Morgantown, where they donated $25,000 to the farmer's market and pulled it out with Morgantown.
If you would like to broker, like what Diane was saying, as far as a meeting between some of these and some of the folks here, we would truly appreciate that.
Okay, I'll take all of this back to the organization. I appreciate everybody's comments, and I hear your
Do you have a
frustration.
contact number so we can follow up with you, or an email, or
Yeah.
an address or something?
Now, your intent today to address the commission was just for, you say, awareness to kind of, was it like a pave the way thing that you're letting them know your presence is here or going to be here soon? Or
Just to give you an update on what's going on in the
Because-
industry from our perspective.
Yeah, because our commission meetings at 4 o'clock and 9 o'clock, alternating weeks, but if you want to reach out to the community, maybe we could arrange, like the Doddridge Park has a huge place to hold enough people for a community meeting, and we could well advertise it, and then you could address the people, because that is who you're impacting, and we'd love to hear from you.
Thank
If
you.
you could arrange something like that, but coming like forth, we got out here because we are some of the people who are very concerned, but the word didn't get out that you were gonna be here, or else I assure you this place would have been packed.
Sure. To get back to your question about getting a group together, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, the two major companies that I think have been active here in Doddridge County have been EQT and Antero, is that
Yeah, also
correct?
JB, Consol.
Consol sold a lot of their leases to Antero.
Okay. EQT is not a part of the Independent Oil and Gas Association, so I can't
But
really.
Antero and,
Antero and JB are. I personally have not had much contact at all with either of those companies, so I can't say anything about whether or not they'd be interested in
listen to the
participating.
people that are telling you that have had experience with them. It's not, they're not good neighbors.
I
Okay.
never
They are
heard one
not.
good thing about any of it.
Okay.
7 wells Antero did in Harrison County, 7 federal EPA violations on those wells, and 4 of the wells
And
were the woman
they're about to
cannot
drill
drink the
one
water anymore.
looming
Mhm.
up right above my house.
Yep, and New Milton too.